Hello, this is Graham from letslearnthis.com. In this tutorial we're going to look at loops. So a loop is a piece of code that executes again and again until something happens or a condition is met that breaks the loop, and so the code can continue on through the program. Now in this case we're going to look at a while loop, but we're going to cover some other loops in other tutorials. Okay, so let's see how it works. Let's start by saying while, and then we'll say true. So what we're saying here is we're going to run a while loop until it's broken, basically. And then we're going to say we're going to go and use some user input, if you remember from the user input tutorial where we used the function raw input. So we're going to say result equals raw underscore input. Let's say what is my favorite color? Okay, so what's going to happen here is this prompt here is going to display to the user, and they're going to enter in their favorite color, and then that's going to be put into this result variable. Okay, then we're going to use something else that we've used recently, the if statement. We're going to say if result is equal to blue, because in this case the computer's favourite colour is blue. Something else to notice here, you remember the operators we were talking about? This is the equal to operator. So rather than just being one equal sign, it's two equal signs. So what that's saying is what's on this side of the double equal sign the same as what's on this side of the double equal sign? And we'll see something strange when we run this, and then I'll explain it, and then we'll go back and see what we can do to fix it, but we'll cover that in a minute. Okay, so if the two things are equal, we want to print, what should we print? You may pass. And then we want to break out of the loop, and we do that by using break. Okay, and then perhaps we might want to print something else down here to prove that we've actually got out of the loop. So print you guessed well. Okay, so it's going to run through the loop and keep running through the loop until the user guesses that the favorite color is blue. Once it does, the loop will be broken and it will print you guessed well. Okay, so let's run that with F5 and save the file. We'll call it while tutorial.py. So here we go then, here's the prompt. What is my favorite color? Just like we asked it to display here. Well, let's type in red to start with, and then you see because it wasn't blue, it's just gone back around the loop, around the circle again, and we can do that as many times as we like. It'll just keep going round until we guess correctly, which is blue, and then it says you may pass, breaks out of the loop, and then prints you guessed well. Okay, but what happens if we run this again now and we decide that we're going to use a capital B on the word blue? Well, although it's the correct guess, and if you were speaking to another human they would say it's correct, it's not exactly the same here. So what could we do to fix that? Let's just end the program. What could we do to fix that? Well, we could put here result.lower. Okay, result.lower, and what that will do is take the result, take the input, which is going into the result variable, and convert it into lowercase letters. So let's try that now. So what is my favorite color? We could type it all in capitals here, blue, and it's correct because it compared this word blue after converting it into lowercase letters with the favourite colour here, which is already in lowercase. Now, if we had two variables there, we might want to put .lower onto both of them to ensure they are both the same, if that was the intention of the program. Now, there's another problem here as well we might just want to quickly look at. What about if we type blue space space space? Don't get anything. See, it doesn't work. So what we want to do here then is to strip off any spaces. So we can say result.lower, and then we can say .strip, and use the strip function to get rid of those extra characters. So let's just so let's just run that again now, and we'll see blue space space space, and then it strips off all those spaces, converts it with the strip function, converts it to lowercase with the lower function, and so they're the same. So while that might not be what you want to do in every case, it's just useful things to start adding to your toolbox, really. Okay, so remember the purpose of the loop is just execute code again and again until some kind of condition is met. And we're going to look at 4 loops in the next tutorial, where you can do even more complex and exciting things. Okay, well that's it for now, and I'll see you then. Bye bye.